This week we meet Abraham. Abraham stands out as a model for us, but really we look and we see he's not perfect. Some of the things he does are pretty questionable. But Abraham believes God, and that's what actually is the difference for him. God makes a promise to a man who has no children and no land and is 75 years old, that he will give him numerous descendants, a land of his own, and also that all the nations of the world will be blessed through him. We follow him through 25 years when God keeps repeating this promise but does not actually deliver on that promise. Abraham continues to trust God, and it's that trust that starts something. It starts a sort of adventure of faith that continues through the ages. We also are reading in Jeremiah. Jeremiah stands out for his raw honesty with God. We hardly ever see this in ancient literature, somebody who can speak to God right from his heart and hold nothing back. And so pay attention as you read to who is speaking. You'll see God says something, it's hard word, and then Jeremiah answers. He may say something as tough as, I wish I had never been born, cursed be the day when I was born. And then God will speak. He won't sugarcoat it. He'll speak even more clearly. He might say, if you think that's bad, just wait till you hear what's coming. But this honesty of dialogue is what's so wonderful about Jeremiah. Then we see John. In John, there's a different kind of dialogue. Jesus speaks and he tells people, I am the light of the world. I am the bread of life. And they hear what he says and they grumble about it. So Jesus speaks even more clearly. And they grumble about that even more loudly, and it continues to escalate until we're left with no choice. Either we believe he is who he says he is, or we pick up stones to kill him. And finally, we read this week 2 Thessalonians. In 2 Thessalonians, this is a congregation where Paul affirms their faith and their love, but not their hope, because they've lost hope. Somehow they've been led to believe that the day of the Lord has already come. He says, no, that day hasn't come. It's not going to be subtle when it comes. You'll know that it happens, and that hope is still before you today. It's another letter of comfort from Paul.